Let's get Matt into this. Matt, look, the fact of the matter is, if Cornyn wanted to be more popular with the Trump voters, it wasn't that hard to do over the last couple of years, was it? I mean, he could have really lobbied for that Save America Act. He could have pushed to get rid of the filibuster. He could have been a warrior on these issues. I mean, other Republicans have straddled that line with Trump, but he didn't do it.
Well, Laura, we predicted that Paxton was going to win this thing a couple months on your show months ago. And it's
Well. Yeah. What's that? Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Cornyn. Down goes Cornyn. We did it again, ladies and gentlemen. Another rhino has been defeated. Yes. Take a listen.
It's not impressive. This, however, all of this orange, this Texas Longhorn orange, was prominent for Paxton. And Brooke Taylor was up late last night, again today, and she is live in Texas with the fallout today. Brooke, hello.
Hi, Bill. This was really just a landslide victory here in Texas, with Attorney General Ken Paxton being declared the winner just an hour after those polls closed. And I could tell you from being at his watch party last night, everyone in the room, including his supporters, they were even surprised just how quickly this race was called. So President Trump, he posted this on Truth Social this morning, quote, "Congratulations to Ken Paxton on such a tremendous win, and to John Cornyn for having run a strong and powerful race, but more importantly, having had a truly great career." This was once expected to be a close Republican Senate runoff race between Paxton and four-term Senator John Cornyn, but it quickly turned into a blowout after President Trump's endorsement just a week before this runoff.
So yeah, you heard it. John Cornyn, the rhino, has been defeated, and he was defeated in spectacular fashion. He was beat by nearly 30 points. 30. Yeah. Talk about Liz Cheney'd. Yeah, we most certainly Liz Cheney'd his behind. 100%. Liz Cheney'd his butt. But, yeah, man, and I think some people are going to comment on, well, why did Trump, congratulate Cornyn and say that he had a... don't beat a dead horse, okay? Cornyn's already on his way out. He already lost. There's no need to rag on him any further. Say something nice about him and move on. Okay, your endorsement, okay, and I'm speaking about this from Trump's perspective, like an endorsement is enough of a FU to Cornyn, right? Because you know what that endorsement is going to do, and obviously we saw that play out in the race, losing by nearly 30 points. So there's no need to continue to bash him after the fact. So as far as Trump goes, I don't mind him saying something nice about Cornyn afterwards, because I know somebody's gonna probably the black pillars, the Candace Owens of the world those types are gonna say something. Well, see, Trump doesn't even, he's a flip flopper or whatever. I do want to show you guys this because his record this year is absolutely wild. Trump is undefeated.
Well, 8 times, he won 8. Trump endorsed on the U.S. House level 101 times. He's won 101 times. Trump endorsed U.S. Senate. He's won 8 times, and we're about to find out tonight whether or not that will be number 9, Laura. So 50 minutes and 8 times, he won 8.
Yeah, undefeated. The 8 governors he's endorsed, they've all won. The 101 House members he's endorsed, every single one of them has won. The 8 Senate members, they've all won. And now it's 9 because Cornyn lost. Okay? So it's 9-9 for the U.S. Senate. Undefeated record. And let me tell you guys something. When you have Democrats out here praising the guy who just got defeated, you know you elected the right person. Here's Van Jones praising John Cornyn. As a matter of fact, I believe there is a clip of, what's her name? Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett saying something nice about Cornyn as well. Let me see if I can pull that up real quickly. I completely forgot about that. Let's see. Is that how you spell Cornyn? Hopefully I spelled that correctly.
Tell all of
Is this it?
Now listen, I'm about to tell all of MSNBC a secret. I actually don't hate Senator Cornyn at all. And right now, what we have is a senator who actually is a real Republican who's doing everything that he can to make it seem like he's a MAGA Republican so that he can get through his primary.
So I actually don't hate John Cornyn. Yeah. All the more reason to make sure that he is voted out. All the more reason. But I just wanted you guys to see that. I know the audio was out of sync. I apologize about that. But here is Van Jones. Check it out.
This is a bad night for America. You have a good man running against a bad man, and the bad man won. And just as a parent, that's tough. I mean, how do you have the kind of record that Paxton has, the things that he's done, the things he's done to his family, and then not apologize, not taking any accountability, not showing any kind of growth? I don't think I want to hear a lot of lecturing from Republicans about family values and all these different things and wagging their fingers in the face of people. It's a bad night for the country. It's a bad night for the Republican Party. It's a bad night for parents everywhere. At some point, character should matter. Nobody's perfect, but you do want to show some kind of growth. And there's zero growth. In fact, there's negative growth with this candidate, and he has the backing of the President of the United States and a bunch of voters, and it's terrible.
Democrat Van Jones. Tonight was a bad night for America. There was a good candidate and there was a bad candidate, and the bad candidate won. Well, thanks, Van Jones. Thank you for confirming that we picked the right guy. Because if you endorse the person, I damn sure don't want him. We've been living with that for long enough in this Republican Party. We have lived long enough with these rhinos who get in front of a camera and try to bash Democrats, and then as soon as they get off camera, behind the scenes, they're all snorting coke and key and ha with one another when they're off the cameras. We're done with that. We're done with it. Okay? And yes, I have heard that a lot of these senators and Congress members, be playing with that booger sugar, as I like to call it. That cocaine. Okay? Now, here's another clip from CNN as well, crying about Ken Paxton winning. Check it out.
Tallarico is well funded. Tallarico will continue to raise money, but it's interesting to me that now Republicans have to worry about deep red Texas because they have a flawed candidate who does not know how to raise. And you're now seeing that currently play out.
All these analysis of this race is sort of the differences between what a Cornyn or a Paxton would look like here. I'm thinking about the differences between Tallarico and literally every other Texan. Don't know any Texans who believe in 6 genders other than Tallarico. Don't know any Texans who said it's immoral to eat meat other than Tallarico. Don't know any Texans who walk around saying things, God is non-binary. You all are both Texans. Do you know any other Texan who even talks like that? Issues aside, who says these things out loud? When this gets adjudicated, all that money coming in from California and New York, it'll be well spent in Texas.
You know what I'm smelling, Scott?
Fear.
Panic.
Fear?
Raw, stinking panic. You guys
Fear
are on this.
Now, remember, this is coming from the same crowd of individuals, right? These leftists who said, oh my goodness, the most accurate pollster in Iowa says that Trump's going to lose Iowa. That spells doom for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris is probably going to win every single swing state if she wins Iowa. And the Iowa pollster just said that she's going to win. So this race is over. Yeah. How well did that go? Let's check the score. Didn't win just one swing state, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but all 7 swing states were won by Donald Trump. And then not only that, he won the popular vote, which a Republican hadn't done in over 2 decades. So how well did those takes go? So when you hear these leftists get on mainstream media and spew out this nonsense, oh, I smell fear. Oh, well, it looks like Republicans are going to have some trouble with Ken Paxton getting elected in Texas. Don't believe it. They do this all the time. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's bullshit. And I'm surprised that they can still get away with it on these airwaves, because I would have assumed by now a dying network like the Communist News Network, aka CNN, would have stopped these folks from spewing this BS because people have stopped paying attention because of this nonsense. Okay, but I guess they haven't learned their lesson. I guess they haven't. If I was the head of CNN, I would make sure that nobody got on air and spewed this nonsense. You can get on air and be a leftist, but don't get on air and spew BS. Okay, it's the reason why it's a dying network in the first place. But hey, the fact that they keep spewing this nonsense is the reason why people like me exist. So carry on, I guess. Carry on. But then also, here's the thing that Democrats fail to realize. Check it out.
Here at this event this evening about some of Senator Cornyn's arguments that Paxton's scandals could be a liability for Republicans come November. She is seen here wearing this MAGA, this Make Texas Great Again jacket, and she told me of these criticisms of Paxton's scandals, quote, "I'm not marrying him. He isn't my pastor. He isn't my spiritual advisor, but he's a very good attorney general." And that is a sentiment that we hear from a lot of Paxton supporters heading into this runoff. The big question is whether that is something that general election voters might be willing to overlook.
Yes.
If he becomes a GOP nominee and faces off against Democratic nominee James Talarico.
I love what that lady said there. I'm not electing this guy to be my pastor. I'm not electing him, if I were a chick, right? I'm not marrying the guy at all, right? I'm electing him to push forth the Trump agenda in DC. That is it, and that is all. So whatever he's done outside of this doesn't really matter to me. And as a matter of fact, I would much prefer him over a guy like James Talarico, who, as you heard Scott Jennings talk about, has the most radical ideas. Like it's immoral to eat meat. Like that sounds like some Bill Gates, I'm gonna release a bunch of ticks so you all have AFGAL, isn't it called alpha-gal syndrome, and you're no longer allowed to eat, your body is no longer allowed to eat meat, which, I've been posting some things about that, and I think there's something going on with that. The explosion in ticks across this country randomly. Ticks used to be a size of, the size at which you could easily see them. Now there's tiny, almost microscopic ticks that you got to look very closely at to see them and find them. And on top of that, Lyme disease, of course, which we've all known about for quite some time. But now you've got the alpha-gal syndrome situation going on where it basically makes you allergic to any animal products, meat, dairy. You can no longer use any of it. Or if you do, you're going to have a horrible allergic reaction that could possibly put you 6 feet in the dirt. Yeah. And you mean to tell me that isn't a planned situation? You got Democrats like Talarico saying it's immoral to eat meat. And that same year, boxes of ticks are being found in fields. Just saying. I ain't saying there's a connection, but I'm just saying there's possibly a connection. Just saying. So I would take Ken Paxton over somebody like James Talarico any day of the week. 365, 7 days a year. I was about to say 7 days a year. Goodness gracious. Wow. I caught myself, though. 7 days a week. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Because, of course, we talked about, Trump saying something nice about John Cornyn. This was posted today. This was posted today. And it says, Trump posted no more rhinos and a Lindsey Graham endorsement in the same day. And, one of these individuals like the Candace Owens, the Nick Fuenteses, the Alex Jones, who all of a sudden flipped on Trump out of nowhere, which I think somebody got to check. But the Hodge twins posted a laughing emoji. Okay? And so this is what I have to say about that. You got to pick and choose your battles, right? We're in a year where there's so much redistricting going on, and yes, I know the South Carolina thing is probably not going to happen at this point because the rhinos there, which they'll get voted out too. There's another state as well. I believe it was Alabama. There was a court that struck down theirs, but they'll probably appeal to the Supreme Court and it'll be reinstated. So we're probably good there. But regardless, there's a whole lot of redistricting going on, meaning there's new people just from the redistricting alone. Number two, we're primarying a lot of rhinos this year. A lot of rhinos have been defeated. Your money can only go so far. Is Lindsey Graham great? No, he's not. As a matter of fact, it's pretty terrible. I want to pull up his Liberty score. Isn't he from North Carolina? I believe it's North Carolina. Let's see. Let's go to Republicans. I want to bring up his Liberty score and see what it is. Is he from North Carolina? I thought he was. Am I tripping? Graham. There we go. Lindsey Graham. Where is Lindsey Graham from? What state are you from? South Carolina. Excuse me. I was close. It's South Carolina. So yeah. Is Lindsey Graham great? No, he isn't. It's pretty terrible. But also, like I said, you have to pick your battles. You get rid of some of the worst individuals first. Get them out of the way, and some of the easier ones first, and spend your money on making sure the new candidates are well, because you're gonna have to spend money, right? You're gonna have to spend money when you're ousting an incumbent. The incumbent already has the name recognition, already been elected, people are familiar with the name, but now you got to get people familiar with this new name, which is gonna cause you to have to spend money. If you're trying to get rid of every single rhino across the board, all in one fatal swoop, it's probably going to end disastrous, because that money lead that you have the significance of that money lead is going to shrink, because you're spreading that money across so many different races, because you got so many different individuals who primaried the rhino incumbent, and now they have to get their name, out into the stratosphere, so they're well known when people go into the ballots. And so you got to pick and choose. So when these black pillars come out, look, Trump said no rhinos, but he endorsed Lindsey Graham. And so what's your point? As if we can't get rid of Lindsey Graham when he's up for re-election again. Like, Lindsey Graham is small peanuts to this entire puzzle of rhinos that we have to get rid of. And I think we're well on our way to accomplishing that goal. So Don't get caught in the nonsense and the BS from these black pillars who, in my humble opinion, were probably paid to create and try to sow division amongst us by, posting little silly stuff like that. Ooh, he's endorsing a rhino. You got to pick and choose. You only got so much money. You only got so much time. You can only have so many rallies in so many places for so many different people. Some rhinos are just gonna have to stick for now. That's just reality. Okay, that's just reality. And what I would assume would be common sense, but unfortunately, common sense is no longer common in our world today. So I just wanted to put that out there on Front Street before that narrative started running. Trump's a flip flopper, blah blah blah, and just a bunch of nonsense. At the end of the day, you dance with the person that got you there. Right? Or is it you dance with the person that got you, or you leave with the person that brought you? However it goes, you get what I mean. Okay? You get what I mean. Anyway, y'all get into the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. How excited are you to see another major rhino fall? I know I'm very excited, but the most exciting one is going to be John Thune in 2028 in South Dakota. Ooh, I can't wait. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.